Hello and welcome to another Arkis video and to my first impressions on the current Group 4 time trial challenge on Gran Turismo 7. This time trial opened 5 days ago, so I'm really late to the party. You probably all got all the guides you need. It's not a very tricky one anyway, so I decided to do something different. I still wanted to use my hour, but instead of just doing it in one car, I decided to do it in 3 different cars on my 3 different accounts. I am in the OP car, the new Mazda 3. On my other EMEA account I used the Ferrari 458, and finally on the US account I used the Ford Mustang. So 3 different cars from 3 different regions, and we've got an FF car, an MR car and an FR car. I didn't do any 4-wheel drive cars, but I might try the Lamborghini and the WRX to get an MR 4-wheel drive car and an FR 4-wheel drive car. Anyway, let's get straight into the first one. So I haven't played the game for 8 days, and I am jumping into the first EMEA account, picking up a prize for that Group 1 challenge. I'm glad I got that one. And we're jumping straight into the OP car. So I'm going to try this first, then the 2 other ones, and finally I went back to try the Mazda again. And this is my very first lap after 8 days of not driving. And yeah, I'm running a bit wide there. You can clearly see I need to stay more narrow than that. There's also a risk of running wide on the exit because there's a slight crest that can unsettle the car. I think, yeah, I need to get closer to that wall. Maybe I am running, yeah, I'm just a bit too impatient, so I'm running slightly wide and get a poor exit down the hill. And we are coming towards the final 2 corners, braking just before the curb there. I think I can push it a bit more than that. Feels like I got into the corner a bit slow, but either way, we are about to finish the first lap on this time trial challenge, and it's 48.452. It actually took me quite a few laps to improve further, but yeah, and this is the thing, if you know you're on a bad lap, you might as well get the car over to the left hand side so you get the proper line when starting the lap. Otherwise you are coming in a bit narrow already at the start. I am doing a bit of a better job keeping the car to the low side of that banked corner. And let's see, we're going over the hill. I think I'm still running wide. You can just look at the ghost, you need to really get on that curb. But we're coming through the final corner. I think I'm pushing it a bit more. Maybe I was pushing it a bit too much, missing an apex there. But we are coming across the line. I cannot remember the time. It's 48.290. And we carry on, we just stay on board, coming around the bank corner and trying to keep the low line. And let's see what we can do about the hill this time. We are staying on board, braking right at the curb there, trying to get close to the wall. You can get a bit closer. Am I keeping the car? Yeah, I am keeping the car on the curb this time, and that gives you a better run down the hill. Now the final corner, using 2nd for a bit of rotation, up to 3rd gear for the exit. And yeah, a bit slow exit compared to the Ghost there, and only a tiny improvement. And here I just understeer off the track, so we better go out and have a look at this one. So we have done 6 minutes of driving, and I'm just within the gold limit. So of course we have to carry on. So this is another attempt. We are coming around for the banked corner, once again making sure to keep the car to the low part of the track. Make sure I don't jump over that crest and run wide. And yeah, I'm just too far away from the edges of the track, and you can see I don't get the narrow line. This is a really poor exit coming off the hill, but despite that we do get a small improvement, but nothing really amazing yet. A few laps later I managed to keep the car to the inside on the top of the hill, and I think we are getting a better exit out of there. So let's see, we are coming across the line in the 48.078, so we are almost in the 47s now. We keep it going. This is the final run before I change account and change to another car. Around the bank corner, keeping it nice and tight, don't run wide on the exit. and braking just at the curb. Can we keep it close? No, not really that close to the wall. I am running wide a tiny bit there, but we at least managed to stay sort of patient, getting an okay exit. We're coming down the hill, braking just before the curb, or maybe on it, I'm not really sure. Around this corner, can we get on the power early? Yeah, the Ghost is running away from me a little bit, but we are down to a 47.818, and I'm parking the car. I will go back to the Mazda, but it's time to change to another car. 10 minutes of driving and I am within 2% of the top time, so this is a fairly easy time trial. And now to the other EMEA account, I'm jumping into the Ferrari, and this is my first lap. For some reason I didn't put on a Ghost right at the start, and looking back at it, I really wasted so much time not doing that. And I'm clearly both insecure and slow on my first lap. You can see I'm coming over the top of the hill really slow, and we are just going to skip to the end of this one. So my first lap is a 49.069. So that's not really fast enough, down to a 48.839, and I just did laps and laps and laps, finally a 48.692, and this is not the line you want to pick, and I'm running off the track. So just load that bloody Ghost. But I'm just being stubborn for some reason, and after spending far too much time, I get the tiniest improvement. So now I am carefully parking the car across the track, and let's get a Ghost on. I've already spent 28 minutes of my hour. I really wasted some time here, and soon we will see the difference having a Ghost can do for you. We are coming around the first corner, keeping it nice and tight to the low side of the bank corner, keeping it on the track, nearly running wide there, and still braking right at the start of the curb. And this is an MR car. It can get a bit more lively over the hill. I'm struggling a bit to get the car where I want it, but we managed to keep it going. We are coming over the hill, down into the final corners, still braking just before or on the curb, something like that. And in fact, these final corners is where the Ferrari feels a bit stronger than the Mazda. It's easy to get on the power. Yeah, the Mazda is running away, I know, but we are down to a 48.163. That only took 4 minutes. With a Ghost on, I've got 28 minutes for the final car. So we are on the US account, and I am in the Ford Mustang, and I am not really sure this is a good car for this challenge. I'm already having a slightly bad feeling about this, but this is my first attempt on a lap. We are about to go over the hill for the first time, and the Mustang gets really unstable on the top of the hill. You can see the rear wants to step out, and we are coming across the line for the first time with a 49.253. So yeah, you can see the top of the hill is really a tricky one, and the final corners I probably should try third gear instead of second gear. We'll get to that later, but we are getting across the line this time with a 48.712, so we are getting down there, 48.533, and we also get an improvement on this following lap as well. So let's just stay on board for a bit. The first part of the track is fairly okay, but you can see the Mazda is just pulling away in pure straight line speed, and yeah, we managed to keep the car together using third gear this time to make sure this rear doesn't step out that much. A 48.488, and in fact this session didn't bring any more improvements. It only rubbed salt in the wound when I got the exact same personal best many laps later. So I think I'm about to just give up soon and park the car. Yeah, you can see now I'm just losing the plot over the hill, but we are not done yet. I want the gold on this one, and after a fresh restart I am about to get a tiny improvement. As you can see, we're coming across the line in 48.340. That's just enough for gold. I've got 15 minutes left of my hour, so I'm trying a bit more. And after a longer grind, this is my best attempt in the Mustang. So let's have a look. Same rules apply. Trying to stay low. Make sure to not jump over the crest and run wide on the exit. Braking at the start of the curb. The Mustang is easy to rotate into that corner. Now just keep it steady. I am running wide, I know, but I managed to not run too wide, and we get on the power down the hill, braking just before or at the curb, depending on my reflexes. And I'm using third gear for the exit this time, so I can get early on the power, and we are about to cross the line in a not very impressive 48.280, and we are parking the Mustang. This is a bit too close to getting out of the 3% range, so I will go back and redo this one. But finally we are jumping back to the first account and back into the Mazda just for comparison. And this is lap number 3 in the Mazda after going back to this, and this is my final run in this video. And this is just proving what we already know. The Mazda 3 is very strong. You have to manage a bit of understeer though, but other than that it's easy to drive and it's really fast. We're coming over the hill. Can I keep it on the curb? Yes. It's far easier to keep this car on the curb and let that drag the car around. Didn't do a perfect job, but it's much easier considering I'm just jumping back into this car after driving 2 other cars for many laps, and we are about to get across the line for the final time, and I'm finishing off with a 47.668, 2 thousandths of a second slower than Mazda's diabolic time from his lap guide. And yeah, that was my first impressions with a twist this time. I hope you enjoyed the video. You probably already did the time trial challenge, but at least I hope you found the video entertaining, maybe even somewhat useful. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.